Okay, hello everyone. My name's Stefan Sorrell, Chief of Research at Kaleido Intelligence, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Noam Segev of Shield IoT, who are an up-and-coming company in the cellular IoT security space. So, Noam, hello, thanks for joining. Perhaps you could give us an introduction to yourself, to Shield IoT, how you work with your customers.
Okay, so my name is Noam Segev. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer of Shield IoT. I'm a cyber security consultant by trade and used to run several startups. In one of them, the last one was Pantera Security. I ran the sales there I was the first sales manager of the company and ran the sales from zero revenue until the company became a unicorn. And I'm all about innovation in the world of cybersecurity. This time with Shield IoT, it's innovation in cybersecurity which concerns the cellular IoT market.
Talking about innovation, I mean, we know from our own research, looking closely into various vendors' products across the market, that solutions like Shield IoTs are pretty rare in terms of what's offered as part of a connectivity package. So, what were the drivers that you saw behind developing your products?
Well, first of all, we are unique because the entire ecosystem around cellular connectivity or cellular IoT is quite new. So I believe that you will see a lot of unique solutions coming in the next 20 years to this amazing connectivity, which has a lot of advantages. However, in cellular IoT, there is a paradox for the business user. And the paradox that does not exist in any other connectivity like IT or OT is that the data owner or the organization that uses this connectivity is not the network infrastructure owner. And this creates a problem. The network infrastructure owner is actually the connectivity provider or the operator. And this problem creates actually lack of visibility, lack of control, and of course, lack of security for those business customers who wish to use cellular IoT connectivity. And this is a problem that we are solving today with Shield IoT.
And of course, we can't really talk about IoT security nowadays without thinking about regulation and compliance. Certainly from our perspective, it's something that's becoming really increasingly important in IoT. What are you seeing on the market right now?
Well, regulation is important not only in cellular IoT, it's important in any type of connectivity. Doing it in cellular IoT has been very challenging because today the organizations don't have the proper visibility. It's very hard for them to continuously monitor their assets, know if they are being attacked or not, if they are operating correctly. This is one of the challenges. However, compliance, today you have GDPR for privacy in Europe, or CCPA if you want in the States. You have regulations that are regarding financial transactions. You have regulations for critical infrastructure. And there was a period where those governmental bodies or regulatory bodies have given time for the organizations to get prepared. But today we see that all of the liability issues and all the fines are taking force since 2024. So GDPR, if I'm not mistaken, started, it was published in 2017, 2018, but they gave time for the organization to get prepared. Now you see organizations really getting into problem.
My experience, at least, I think one of the challenges with security, or at least implementing security, is the perception that it's part of a cost center. how do we combat this perception? What's your opinion on it?
So first of all, it is very important to explain that the cost is not something that the vendors are dealing with. The cost is usually motivated by the government.
Mm.
If the government thinks, or in our case, for example, the European Union thinks that privacy is something that needs to be protected, or private information, they will place the right motivations for the organizations to deal with the cost. Okay? Now, when we are talking about, for example, cellular IoT connectivity, the costs that are related to cybersecurity or to meeting regulation are not attached to this cost of connectivity by any means, right? An organization that needs to meet a certain type of regulation will not be allowed to do its main activity or will get very high fines without meeting the regulations. So it's actually not something that we are dealing with. We are dealing with finding the technologies and developing the technologies that will provide the tools for those businesses who wish to operate on cellular IoT to be able to do it while meeting regulation.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So when we think about the overall Shield IoT product, what's the value proposition? So your primary customer is the connectivity service provider. What's the value proposition for a connectivity service provider to offer this type of product to an end customer?
Well, I must say that with all the connectivity service providers that we are working with, they've all invested a lot of resources in building the right procedures and buying technologies in order to provide security to their customers. The main problem is that all of these technologies that were implemented are in the backbone of the telco. They are not visible to the customer. It's not something that he is using on his daily work. And by the way, he doesn't have any way to understand what's going on in the backbone of the connectivity service provider. Okay? What we are providing to the operator is actually a platform that enables the operator to provide an enterprise-grade solution for their customers, so the customer will be able to have full visibility to all of his assets, to continuously monitor them, to detect threats and mitigate them by himself. So we are giving him control over the network that he doesn't own, but he owns the data. We're allowing him to manage the threat management cycle, right? And we are also enabling him, if he's already practicing cybersecurity, okay, detecting threats, mitigating them, and improving his security posture over time, we are also enabling him to generate automated compliance reports that will keep him against liability in case of a data breach or any other business discontinuity or any other cyber event. So it's actually providing the customer, the business customer, a full control over his devices. And this is a totally different approach. Now, what is the value for the connectivity service provider? First of all, this is a real differentiator. And this differentiator means that he will be able to increase his customer base. So if I'm competing against you and you provide such service together with connectivity or on top of connectivity, and I can't, probably every EV charging operator would prefer to work with you, and every critical infrastructure customer would prefer to work with you. They have obligations to meet compliance, and they are very serious about meeting cybersecurity. So this is a big advantage, first of all. Second, this is a monetization platform. The idea here is that you're approaching as a connectivity service provider, you're providing a freemium service of visibility to your customers, but then you are meeting other budget owners. There is a land and expand approach here, because connectivity, usually the sales guys are dealing with the operations team. They don't speak with chief information security officers. They don't speak their language. They don't speak with the finance people who are in charge for meeting regulation and compliance. Here, the system actually enables them to expand their activity automatically into those different budget owners and provide them with additional premium services like the capability to respond to attacks, the capability to generate automated compliance reports. These are all generating new revenue streams on top of connectivity for the connectivity service providers.
Okay, let's close it up with a final question then. Obviously, we have insights into the market, security, IoT. How have these insights from Kaleido helped inform your previous or ongoing strategic decisions?
So I must say that I'm a big fan of Kaleido. And when we had a technology and we thought what would be the best way to implement this technology, and we based a lot of the understandings and the strategy based on findings that were found in Kaleido and some other important researchers that were showing that there is a problem today with adoption of cellular IoT. Number one, most organizations are afraid to adopt cellular IoT because they don't have the feel of control over these networks because of this paradox. This is one thing that we learned. The second thing that we learned is that most organizations or most executive of organizations are considering to move to cellular IoT connectivity, but they are not willing to do so before they have the right security measures and control measures in place. We learned that 85% of cellular IoT connectivity projects are being blocked because of security concerns. And this is why we decided to focus on this area. We understood also that there is a huge potential for connectivity service providers to generate new revenue streams on top of connectivity, not only with security, but this special position of the connectivity service provider as the owner of the network. It's a problem, but it's also a very, very big opportunity for every connectivity service provider that would like to generate new revenue streams on top of connectivity. And by the way, connectivity today is commodities. In the last years, I also learned it from your researchers, Guy, we saw that the prices of connectivity are rapidly going down and down. So what we have learned, Stefan, is that the prices of connectivity are rapidly going down. Connectivity has become commodities. Without any differentiator, actually, the connectivity prices are barely keeping the connectivity service providers alive and breathing. And they are looking for new ways to generate new revenue streams. By being able to provide those value-added services on top of connectivity, connectivity service providers can have a real edge over competition, and they can generate new revenue streams. And eventually, those that will develop and will provide value-added services on top of connectivity will be those who will survive eventually and gain a bigger share of the market.
Yeah, so thank you very much for joining me today, Noam. It was really interesting to hear your thoughts in the market. So thanks very much for joining.
Thank you very much, and it was a pleasure, as always.